shot, baby!
We can see the commissaires and the blue shirts out there, and then they'll see if they're available to do it.
It's kind of hard to do.
It's like doing a duvet.
The sand here mechanical. I think I'm going to walk at it. He was, right? Okay.
Said it's good.
Nice.
Said it was this close.
That's what we go for. Perfect.
We're going for perfect.
He's on a roll.
Well, she's off.
Yeah.
Made it down the ramp. That's all that
Looks
matters.
pretty good.
Yeah, made it down the ramp.
That is
It was
really
like, wait,
one of
somebody
the.
gonna hold me? Yes.
Yeah, I know. Like, I honestly think the conditions will be an advantage for her with the amount you guys ride in the rain. It's just that one vlog. Got it.
Yeah.
Right velocity!
Okay, they're just talking nonstop right now about Paula. Apparently, like, she was a couple seconds off the pace of the leader on the first lap. Second lap, she is riding the fastest of anybody out there. So that is my update. Okay, tons of women have gone by. I have no idea who is fast, who is not fast. Everybody looks fast. The announcer is just continuing to talk about Paula non-stop, which leads me to believe either he doesn't know anybody else here or she's really doing well. Nice!
It's over a minute faster.
You're in the hot seat. How many people are behind you?
What?
Some.
Hi guys.
Hi, how are you feeling?
It was good. I was scared on that stretch. It's like,
Tell the people what your thoughts are.
Yes, could you please conduct an interview? That'd be fantastic.
Actually, the water.
Funny you should ask.
I want to speak with you. If you felt up to it, Dean over here is waiting to chat with you, but we can obviously give you a few minutes.
yeah, I can.
They said that you were like a couple seconds down the first lap and then you just nuked the second lap.
down on the first lap.
Like 2 seconds or something, and then you just,
And then you just.
I don't know who, but then you
Just in general.
blasted the second lap.
Maybe it was just a bit of a frown.
What did he say?
Imagine, like, we know.
Like we know.
We've been watching a time trial all day. We don't even know who's winning at this point.
No.
It was scary the first lap. I'm sure it was all wet. I know it was wet. Get into it.
Really impressive to see Megan's play.
Course like that. But no, yeah, I'm really happy. I have no idea how I'm going to end up, but I'm happy that it was so much fun.
So how do you like being here for the time trial championships? You're traditionally a triathlete. You've had some fantastic results in triathlon. You won the Daytona Challenge about a year and a half ago. You're racing at the Canadian Open in 4 weeks.
I'm not going to switch sports, but I loved it. It was so much fun, and I'll definitely be back for it.
Okay, but here's a bit of an update. Marie-Soleil Blais is setting a fairly fast time here on the second lap. Marie-Soleil Blais is also running negative splits, but she was 20 seconds down on Paula Findlay, and at the half lap split, she's going faster than her first half lap split, but still slower than Paula Findlay. It looks tough for Marie-Soleil Blais to knock Paula Findlay out of the hot seat. This is one of the most exciting time trials I've ever seen, and we're still on pins and needles. Leah Kirchman, just by a small amount, is sitting in third spot. So Leah Kirchman holding on to that podium spot.
Good! I won the race! Oh my god!
Have you? What?
Yeah.
Can't say that yet.
Pretty sure I won.
Not official.
Not official.
For elite women, in first place, your winner from Edmonton, Alberta, Paula Findlay. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2022 Canadian champion, Paula Findlay.
Okay.
I'm ready.
All right.
So at this point, everybody
should know, if I've done my job properly, that you won the race.
Yeah.
You love being Canadian, and that was a lot of fun. How did you feel like that versus a triathlon? You know, it was obviously pretty short.
Yeah, it was interesting because I felt like the warm-up was a lot more important. Before a triathlon, I might jog around for 10 minutes, but this was really a more focused warm-up, getting my heart rate really high and just making sure I timed it properly so that by the start I was actually feeling warm and ready, since you really have to go like max effort right from the start. It was cold and wet, so it really took me about a lap to get comfortable, and so I negative split the laps. My first lap was 25 seconds slower than my second lap, and I don't know if that was just like maybe an internal fear of blowing up, so I held back a little on the first lap, or maybe it was, I think I was just more comfortable on the wet roads and knew where the potholes were and was just a little more relaxed on the second lap, so I could push more watts and therefore it was faster. So it was a learning experience starting on that ramp that is really steep. It doesn't look steep when you're looking up at it, but when you're looking down from the top, it's actually quite scary. So I had never done that type of a start before, which took my mind off the race because I was just worried about getting down the ramp. But yeah, I felt pretty relaxed the whole time, and in a time trial you really have to dig to like as hard as you possibly can go, but your mind knows that it's going to be over relatively soon, so I found that pretty easy to dig that deep. Well, not easy, but it was easier than in a triathlon when you know you have to run a marathon after a half marathon. You really know that once you cross the line, you're done. So I could dig that much more deeper. The last 10K, I really just like 100% effort, went as hard as I could. And yeah, it was painful, but it was like a fun kind of pain where you know it's short-lived. Yeah.
Any thoughts like that? How did this fit into the getting ready for PTO? Do you feel like good about the PTO bike ride with this, or whatever?
Yeah.
What's going to happen the next month?
So the timing of this with the PTO Edmonton race in July is actually quite nice. It's 4 weeks apart. So my coach Paula and I decided we'd focus on this TT and do a lot more high intensity riding and watts for a 32K, which are closer to 300, 320. So I've been working hard on the bike, but just like shorter intervals. And now that this is done, I'll do a little bit longer intervals and focus more on half marathon or half Ironman distance power. But I really do think this gave me a boost. And if anything, coming down to half Ironman watts will feel easier. And I'm just a lot more comfortable on my TT bike now. I've been doing so much TT riding outside. The Edmonton PTO course is really technical, so I think that'll play to my advantage just to have a little bit more time on my time trial bike. But yeah, overall, I think it was a really fun way to break up the season leading into the PTO Edmonton. I didn't really taper for the TT, but it was something to mentally focus on and get excited for. And it was in Edmonton, so my whole family was here, and just the whole week has been really fun being at home. So I'm now even more looking forward to the PTO Edmonton race. I also got a lot of media requirements out of the way this week, so I don't have to deal as much with that when I come back in July, which can be really energy sucking and important but time consuming. So sort of took this week to check a lot of those boxes with CTV and all the news stations in Edmonton. So yeah, it was a really positive week. But Eric and I are going to head to Canmore and kind of be hermits for 3 weeks. There's no one really there except for a few friends, and not many chores and tasks that usually take up energy. So it really is like a focused training camp at altitude before the PTO Edmonton.
Wait, last thing. What bike do you think you'll ride in Edmonton?
I don't know. I want to talk to JB at Specialized about that. I know they'd probably prefer that I ride the tri bike, and I love both. But in my most recent experience, obviously, was on the UCI Legal Shiv TT, and I love that bike so much. And the position is fairly similar for me in terms of aggressiveness and with my aero position. So if Specialized is okay with it, I might want to ride the Shiv TT. It'll take a little bit more creativity with the storage of nutrition and water. That's the downside because the Shiv tri bike has all that integrated. So still kind of going to decide, and maybe we should do a video of me comparing both, because I really haven't ridden my Shiv tri bike in a month. So I kind of forget what feels better. So I'm going to go back and forth and see which one is the most comfortable, the best at climbing, the best on technical courses, because that's what the PTO Edmonton is. And yeah, I guess we'll decide in a couple of weeks.
Done.
Is that good?
That was fantastic.
Okay.
It's almost like you've been doing a whole bunch of interviews this week.
Yeah, was it too interviewy? Because this is the vlog. It's not supposed to be interviewy. I was like, okay, total bitch mode. Okay, interview mode. No, just kidding. I've been in a good mood all week, but the PTO was here for 3 days doing media. That was after 3 days of media in Bend with them. And then Nils Nelson was in Bend for Zip for 2 days. And then I had, there's just been so much filming. It's insane. I was on the news this morning, but it's all promoting the race in Edmonton, which is kind of cool. So it's not like necessarily about me. It's about the city. It's about the sport. It's about getting people to sign up for the race. So it's not all like me, which is kind of nice because I feel like there's a bigger purpose than just me talking about myself. It's more like talking about this city that I grew up in and getting people excited about the event. So that's cool.
Everybody go sign up.
Yeah, sign up for the PTO Edmonton if you haven't yet. You can do a sprint or a 100K distance. So if you could do the sprint, it's like an hour it's nothing. It'll be fun. Alrighty, thanks for cheering. Thanks for putting up with us. And if Eric edits this, then we'll see you next week from Canmore.